Brack's he's like a kid who desperately needs the toilet. I gotta go! Alright, here we go.
Keep it together, man. Keep it together.
Yes, alright.
What's he laughing about?
I don't know.
I don't know, Brack, but stop talking. You're making me laugh. The abyssal lair of the Radiophonic Sea Creatures. Simulate a luxurious mustache by attaching a sea otter to your upper lip, because I, Tokyo Choo-Choo, am going to be your host today. And with me, as always, are two guys who know for a fact that Aquaman wears women's underwear. It's Human Metal and Brack. So, Human Metal, what have you been up to recently?
Just today, Smash Bros. Arrived. So, there's been that. And I already have a complaint about this fucking thing. I can't help it. It's like Nintendo made these two modes now for fun and for glory. So, you can play competitively in the for glory mode, obviously. But for glory is also restricting you. Like, you can only use specific certain stages that are more on the smaller, that are smaller. And, you can't use items in those. So I want to use items and I want to play in the bigger stages. So obviously I would go for play for fun, but you can't do one-on-one matches in for fun. You can only do that in for glory for some reason. So this game doesn't have the optimal mode that I want to play, and that's already pissing me off. So good job, Nintendo. You already made one person mad.
Why do game companies do that? It's like they never ever want to give you the perfect game. So like they always remove options, or they it's like they're purposely limiting things, so you can't ever get the perfect version of the game. I find that with wrestling games. Like a wrestling game comes out, has great features. The next wrestling game adds some features, but takes something away that you really want. So there's never a definitive version of like a wrestling game, and or they do it with like Call of Duty. One has like co-op with bots, and the next one doesn't have any fucking co-op with bots, but has some other decent mode. Like, I think game companies are actually conspiring. They're like, just like price fixing, but it's like game fixing. So they all conspire together. What are you going to have? Okay, we can't let the consumer have the perfect game. So we got to conspire to fuck it up just somehow, even if it's incrementally. Apart from that, how is the game?
Well, yeah, I've only played, it just arrived today, so I've only played a few hours, but it's fun, yeah. Mechanics are good, though, yeah, I would still like to have an option to move my character around with the D-pad, but I'm used to that because it's Smash Bros, so whatever. But, yeah, it's cool. Online mode, despite the lack of the perfect option I want to have, but whatever, works actually pretty good. I've only had one match where I experienced lag in the beginning, and that's it. So either I'm super lucky getting people with good internet connections, or they actually improved the netcode. Who would have expected that? But yeah, that was pretty cool. So yeah, I'm fine with it for now. I want to definitely get more into it over the next few weeks and want to play with some friends of mine. So I'll give you an update then. So far, I can only say it's Smash Bros. It's fun. Would like to have some more options in there, but yeah, what I've played is good. So yeah. And you mentioned Call of Duty. Actually, I watched a friend play through all of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, featuring Kevin Spacey. And yeah, I got a few thoughts on that. I think the realistic sci-fi setting they're going for in this game is pretty cool. I think they did that for Black Ops 2 as well already, but whatever.
Black Ops 2 wasn't realistic sci-fi, to be honest.
Okay. Well, this isn't super realistic either, but you can imagine it's semi-realistic. You can imagine, in a few decades or something, weapons might go there, or even in a few years, and there might be already some kind of some weapons out there that are, comparable to that what is in the game.
Dudes running around with jetpacks and fucking exoskeletons.
No, that's not the one I'm talking about. But selectable grenades or weapons with special sight enhancement and stuff that, are not normal yet, or, mines that cancel out noise in a specific area or something. I can see that happening maybe in the not too distant future, like technology like that be available.
Kevin Spacey running the government. I can see it happening in the future as well.
Sure. He's getting already, putting his training wheels off after House of Cards. But anyway, gameplay is really tight and responsive, and, the new gadgets and exosuit features like boost jump, quick switch grenades, stealth suit, are a lot of fun. I was kind of surprised that it has less impressive set pieces than in some of its earlier titles, like Modern Warfare 2 or 3. There are some in there, but, not as much as I would like to see, because when I, watch or play Call of Duty, I do it just for the spectacle. I am not that interested either in the story or, the series or multiplayer gameplay or whatever. I want to just see stuff explode and big Michael Bay-esque Hollywood blockbuster stuff.
Yeah, me too. I think they're actually more fun than the most recent Michael Bay movies.
Yeah, pretty much. But and there was
playing with your balls is more fun than the most recent Michael Bay movies.
Definitely. There were balls in those movies, especially Transformers 2, for no reason whatsoever. But yeah, giant robot balls. But, not that many impressive set pieces in there, though the graphic is good and stuff, so whatever. Let's talk about Kevin Spacey, but the scenes with him are easily the most entertaining, which is probably not surprising to anyone. But the story doesn't really make good use of his acting skills, which is probably also not a big surprise since it's a Tom Clancy game.
And is it Tom Clancy game? Has Tom Clancy written this?
Well, no, he's not written it, but it's, the Call of Duty franchise is
Call of Duty's not
Tom Clancy.
No.
Isn't it?
Tom Clancy is Ubisoft.
Yeah, Tom Clancy is fucking Rainbow Six and stuff.
Well, it ventures in the same vein as his story. So
he's fucking dead now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. So we shouldn't speak ill of the dead, but I'm still doing it anyway.
But he hasn't written anything for all those Rainbow Six or Splinter Cell or whatever games. He hasn't written anything for it. It's just taking his name.
Yeah, they're just using his name.
It's the Tom Clancy franchise. So yeah.
But those games and the stories go always in a kind of specific direction, and they do that as well. And this time, you could have set up this really interesting and this really interesting relationship between Kevin Spacey and the guy you play in this one, because what's different from the other Call of Duty games, or Modern Warfare games specifically, you only play as one character this time around. In previous Call of Duty games, you would switch around,
which was actually kind of confusing sometimes, because I really don't care about story as well, so I don't really pay attention to the story. Sometimes I'm just listening to podcast or audiobook while playing Call of Duty. Yes, that happens. And I have no idea whose name it is or which character I am or what the hell his idea is or what. Yeah. They're like faceless.
Exactly.
Roads.
And they could have changed that this time around because they're actually sticking with one character.
And they have Troy Baker doing the motion capture and the voice, so the biggest voice actor in video games at the moment.
Yes. And at points they're trying, but not really. And they really turn Kevin Spacey over the course of the story. They turn him into a fucking Disney villain. And
really?
Yes.
He wasn't a Disney villain enough in the beginning. You know what? I would really buy the game right now. In the final countdown, Kevin Spacey turns into like a giant dragon. I would play it right now if that was the case.
Not that, but you know what I'm talking about when you play through the game. No,
are you crushing my dreams right now? He doesn't turn into a giant dragon.
No, he doesn't.
Not even a mech dragon.
But if Kevin Spacey turned into a mech dragon at the end of a Call of Duty game, I would fucking play that. That would be amazing.
Yes.
I would have, give that game 10 out of 10 if that happened, but it doesn't. So
see, I really
that would have been an actual surprise, but the game is really, really holding back on surprises. Like there's not one in there.
That's a problem with Call of Duty. I just want it to go crazy. Who gives a fuck about it? They take it way too serious. I just want this is Call of Duty. Only this time, it's with wizards. And they have like Harry Potter as like a first-person Call of Duty type shooter. Like something like that. I would play that.
Call of Duty game done by Hideki Kamiya. Sign me up for that. I would totally play that. Platinum Games Call of Duty. It would probably be a lot of fun.
I tell you what is crazy though. The new Tom Clancy game, it's actually about Tom Clancy himself. It's about Tom Clancy in hell and he has to escape hell. It's called Rainbow 666.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Though there's some interesting news that might make Choo-Choo very happy. And I don't know if you've heard about this, but Irrational Games...
they've lowered the prices of hookers?
No, maybe in your area. But Irrational Games is restaffing. So I thought they were gone. You know, that's what Ken Levine said. But apparently they are not. And maybe that Advent's Bioshock game, that is a possibility. So I think that news might, make you a little bit giddy. So do you even need a new Bioshock game after Infinite? I mean, would you look forward to that or?
Well, yes, but at the same time, I'm not entirely sure that the franchise could ever recover the same kind of budget or the same kind of drive they had behind Infinite. So I think that took a lot out of everybody who made it and the company who made it. I mean, I think. In some ways, I think Bioshock Infinite might be a once-in-a-lifetime type game. Yeah, I think the budget was like off the scale and the amount of effort and detail. I mean, it took them years. Even the DLC, which they released afterwards, they were saying, we're going to release DLC on the season pass, 3 bits of single-player DLC, and then it took them a whole over a year to get out, and they only released 2, parts.
No, they released 3, but, one of them wasn't, story.
Yeah, well, okay. I wasn't even stupid enough to pick up that piece of DLC. I took one look at that. I was like, nope.
No, me neither. But yeah, that's still the case. That's how they sell it. They sell you 3 single player DLCs, but one of them is just an arena mode, and they just fuck you over.
Yeah, no interest in that.
Ubisoft does it all the time.
So, any of you got to talk about something before we bring up the 2 trailers?
I watched Mortal Kombat, the original Mortal Kombat. I watched that this week.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Get over here!
With the amazing music, with the amazing soundtrack in the beginning.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat. It's an amazing soundtrack.
What the fuck is that? Oh yeah, that's
me trying to do the music with my mouth, but I can't make the music. It's too crazy.
Should practice your beatboxing.
I can't beatbox. I'm too wide for beatboxing.
That's hilarious.
But yeah,
it's Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
also, that song goes on for way too long at the end credits. It's like a 7-minute song or something like that. It's insane.
But the thing is, the tune never changes. It's the same thing. I mean,
they just say everybody's name. They go through all the characters in that song.
Johnny Cage, Liu Kang.
But I watched that movie, and it's actually really fun. I remember watching it as a kid, and I didn't really care all that much. But it actually got funnier with time. It's like a fine wine you bought at the $1 section at the Walmart.
Yeah, it's weird. People were harping on the movie, or some people were back when it was released, and it was like, wait, what did you expect from a Mortal Kombat movie? This is probably as close as you can get to the fucking game. It's stupid, so is the game, and the fight scenes are decent, even better than in the game, so...
The fight scenes are actually really entertaining.
Yes.
Pretty well filmed, so that's what I wanted.
It's a dumb movie, but it's a very good Mortal Kombat movie, so I don't know what people were expecting.
And the funny thing about the special effects is that they have aged so poorly. That is hilarious. The special effects are just really funny because of how bad they are. Except for what's the character with the 4 arms?
Goro.
His effects actually hold up pretty well.
Oh, that's surprising. I mean, you could have got a bit more of the special attacks in there. The games were the games had more, Hadouken-esque attacks and stuff like that. Yes. But at least there were some in there. I mean, Sub-Zero had his freezing shit, and Scorpion had his fire breath and stuff.
Yeah, so, but also Johnny Cage, he has his doing a split and punching somebody in the nuts move.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. He has his sunglasses on. They actually do a lot of the moves from the games, which is they really stay true to the games. And I have to say, this is probably the best video game movie ever made so far, which is kind of sad at the same time.
I think I've already mentioned on a previous episode, but I really love the movie Doom. I mean, it's a guilty pleasure of mine, but I really like that game. That film, sorry, not that game. I like the game too, but damn it. But yeah, I also love Mortal Kombat. I went to the cinema with a friend to see that when it was new, and yeah, it was a shit ton of fun. It's a great movie. I watched it a couple of years ago. I was looking forward to it. I was like, yeah, this movie is going to be great. And then I watched it, and it was cheesy shit, but it was kind of enjoyable cheesy shit.
I went into
embarrassingly bad,
expecting cheesy shit.
I always remember it being really good from when I was a kid. So, and it has a reputation of, Human Metal was saying people dogged on it, but it actually has a reputation of being one of the better video game movies. So
now it does, because there came so much shit afterwards.
Yeah, there's so many shit video game movies that everything else is worse. I've seen a couple. I've actually seen like the Tekken movie, the live-action Tekken movie, and that's bad. It's really bad. They made it like
has one good fight scene.
There's one good fight scene. Like the guy who plays like Eddie in the Eddie character from Tekken. He is pretty good. He is has the same Kapura moves as like the video game character. But they try to make it a dystopian science fiction future from Tekken.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
It's super dumb.
At least Mortal Kombat
Street Fighter movies, except for the animated movie, have all been shit as well.
Hey, hang on. On that note, the Street Fighter movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme is unbelievably terrible. It's so bad, but it's so fucking bad that it's kind of good. I mean, it's like the cheesiest, shittiest B-movie like ever made, but it's just the stuff that gets said and the action scenes that happen, even that shitty Hadouken that Ryo does, and like that horrendously awful comedy Blanca. I mean, you would just start cracking up. Like, seriously, go back and watch Street Fighter and approach it as a comedy. It's fucking hilarious. And Raul Julia, who plays M. Bison, he just fucking lords it up in that movie.
Yeah, like, it's better than Legend of Chun-Li. That's just horrible.
Yeah.
It just makes me sad, because there are actually some actors in there that I like, and then it's just sad for them. It's like, oh man, couldn't you have get something better than that?
It's just terrible. Yeah, but like I say, actually, seriously, the Street Fighter, I watched it on TV relatively recently, and it was so bad, it was funny. Yeah.
So, Chuchu, anything else from you this week?
Yes. Speaking of so bad, it's funny. The thing that I got to talk about this week, two things actually. Firstly, I finished Binding of Isaac, which I talked about.
How did you finish it? Because there are like 20 different endings and stuff like that.
Oh, I finished it where his mother was going to kill him, and at the last moment he kills his mother. I've forgotten the ending exactly. But actually, I was so frantically tapping the button.
That's like the prologue, right? That's the prologue.
No,
it's not even the real ending. Like, you beat the final boss, and you got like the end credits, and you unlocked like
the womb or something.
Yeah, the womb. That's like the beginning, actually. That's not the ending at all.
Oh, okay. Well, I beat the first round of it. I mean, I've been going through.
I did the same thing, but after that, I was like, it got too difficult for me.
But I had this amazing power up where, like, the Daddy's Longness, it was called, and basically Isaac's father's foot would come through the top of the screen and just squash the enemies. So actually, my run where I actually beat the boss the first time was a cakewalk. Because his father's foot would just come in the top of the screen and crush whatever was opposing me. It was hilarious.
That's actually, so that's like abuse, like family abuse, because it's the father kicking the mother's ass.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of sick when you look at it like that. But then again, if the mother is trying to murder the child, I guess she's up for a bit of abusing. But yeah, the other thing, probably more interesting, talking about things that are so bad they're kind of good. I watched Twilight New Moon.
Oh, you poor sod.
Yeah, well, I a long time ago I saw the first Twilight film and it was rubbish.
Why?
It was why did I see the first Twilight film?
Yeah.
So it was about vampires and I was none the wiser to the franchise at that point. And I watched that first one. I was like, yeah, that's jank. I'm not doing that again. And like years have gone past, but recently I was bored and, like all of the Twilight movies are on Hulu. So I decided to watch New Moon. And oh my God. Wow. That film was unbelievably jank. But it was so crap that it was funny. I mean, there were times when I was just hysterically laughing. Like, I tell you, this one scene in particular, where I was literally almost pissing myself. It's a scene where one of those handsome boys, Jacob, the wolf guy, he's like...
He can't keep his shirt on.
Yeah, exactly. There was this hilarious moment where they were riding these bikes, these motor scramblers, and the girl in the film, like, she does dangerous things so she can see the ghost of the vampire, which is so stupid. So she ends up driving this scrambler. Yeah. She ends up driving this scrambler and having this really tacky, crappy crash into a rock and falls off. And then Jacob, who's like about 10 meters away or something, is like, oh my God, Bella! And he like revs up his bike, goes about 10 meters really fast on his bike, and then stops the bike and does this completely unnecessary skid. Flips out the back tire and jumps off his bike like he's the coolest thing ever. Runs over her, which is hilarious in itself. I'm already laughing. Says, oh my God, you're bleeding. And then pulls off his shirt in slow motion. And then starts dabbing a car. And I'm fucking rolling around in hysterics. Oh, Jesus Christ. So... like that, and like the continual teenage logic of it, and the way, like, oh, I've broken up with my boyfriend, I'm gonna end my life, the world is ending, I'm pushing everybody away. It's like absolutely hilarious, and like, so I spent most of the time like laughing at that movie, like quite intensely, and having a pretty damn good time watching it. I mean, it was terrible, it was awful, but yeah. I kind of enjoyed it.
I know of a lot of people who are hate watching it and enjoy it that way, and I haven't gotten myself to watch it yet to have that experience. And I know people who are who I think those are genuinely good movies. So crazy people. It's common knowledge that hardcore Twilight fans are super crazy, but that one actually freaked me out. Where like. One girl was coming up to the main actor of those movies, Robert Pattinson, I think his name is, and she actually slit her fucking wrists and asked him to drink her blood.
Really?
I was like, what the fuck?
Damn, that's hardcore. Let's be honest there.
Yeah.
That's more hardcore than all those metal people. So.
You mean? I mean, she didn't cut them like that she would bleed out, but she was actually bleeding from her arms and asked him to drink her blood. So, holy fucking shit!
Did our Pats do it?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I doubt he would do that.
I dropped out at that point of the story. So
one good thing about Twilight New Moon, I give it dues. Like Michael Sheen and Dakota Fanning were pretty great in it. Like
Michael Sheen is fucking hilarious in those movies, especially later on.
Yeah, I've only seen the first two, but Michael Sheen just when he came on, the movie just went up several notches in quality for that very short time that he was on screen. He just ate the scenery in that film. Just yeah.
I was actually thinking, I don't want to pay money for them. I was thinking about, watching them on Amazon Prime because I subscribe to that anyway because of better shipping and stuff. Watching those movies while playing Final Fantasy 14, but I don't want Amazon, to cater their advertisement and stuff to my. Some of the oldest Twilight shit appears in my fucking recommendations. I don't want that to happen, so I can't do that.
You can end up getting like ads for sleeveless T-shirts and stuff.
Yeah, probably.
So anyway, I'm done. So I know you guys have some trailers. So yeah, why don't you take it away?
let's do that. The first one that came up, I think it was Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, was the teaser trailer for Jurassic World, which is obviously the fourth movie in the illustrious Jurassic Park franchise, which had like probably one genuinely good movie, which was the first one.
It's the only one I watched.
Yeah, the second one was alright for a lot of people, and because it still had Jeff Goldblum in it, who is a funny guy. But third one is fucking annoying. And the fourth one, I want people to go out and watch this trailer, and it's amazing to me. This is first. Let's just get this out of the way. I think this is gonna be a fucking trash fest, and probably an entertaining one. Just the final scene of that trailer is Chris Pratt on a motorcycle going out to hunt a genetically engineered, specifically new dinosaur who's like the super killer dinosaur. Like, just, I don't know why they created it, but it's gonna end up being, it's like, has like all...
To be honest, if you're gonna make like your own dinosaur, why don't you just make like a really cute, super fluffy dinosaur?
Yeah,
why would you make a dinosaur that's like a super killer?
Yeah, you can sell that. I don't know. It probably will turn out they want to make it like a weapon for military use or shit. something stupid like that from Dino Crisis games or whatever. And then they send it up to space and it comes back and is super angry or whatever. But yeah, engineer a super special dinosaur, which turns out to be not to be a good idea. Who would have thought? Because it goes around and starts killing everybody. And, then Chris Pratt, in the last scene of that trailer, is on his motorcycle, and all around him are like velociraptors as his buddies and help him with hunting that fucking dinosaur.
They're like these hunting dogs. It's amazing.
And that right there is my reason to watch that movie. Because because that means that the movie is going to be super ridiculous. I hope it's not going to take itself too seriously, or, so seriously that it's fucking hilarious. I don't know.
Also, for the people at home, I'm having a twist right now for like the new Jurassic Park, and you haven't watched it in the trailer, but for the new dinosaur, you haven't seen it in the trailer. They actually used Jeff Goldblum's DNA as well, so it has like a Jeff Goldblum face.
That would be amazing. It's super scary.
Yeah, it's actually not directed by the guy, by the one guy. It's actually directed by John Carpenter, like The Fly. So yeah. Like Cronenberg. It's Cronenberg. I'm sorry.
You don't know it yet, but I'm gonna kill you. It looks amazing. Except for the CGI looked surprisingly weak in that one. I know it's produced by by Steven Spielberg, so I was imagining that maybe Industrial Light and Magic would handle the CG, but when that huge water plesiosaurus, whatever that thing is called, is jumping out of the
crocodile.
That giant crocodile thing. That looks really bad, in my opinion, and the composition shots with the people in the park with like this futuristic monorail and stuff like that. It looks super plasticky. I don't know about you guys.
It doesn't look finished yet. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
It's probably because it isn't finished yet.
Yeah.
They're probably still working on it. So
yeah, I hope they put some more touches on there in post production. But yeah, it looks, at least it could be super entertaining. Like if they go all out on the action and don't waste any time with the characters and story, which we probably won't give two shits about, especially about the two children that are set up in the beginning. But yeah, if they make it like a super dino brawl fest or something with Chris Pratt thrown in the mix.
Yeah, if they just focus on Chris Pratt's character. He has also a lot of charisma. But you were talking about they were making this giant monster for the military or something. I really hope that's the sequel. It's dinosaur. It's like Rise of the Planet of the Dinosaurs. Like it's people like wars are not fought with humans anymore, but they just use like armies of dinosaurs to kill each other. It's actually the next one is called Jurassic World War, and it's World War with dinosaurs in it. It's gonna be amazing. Think about this.
Nazi dinosaurs.
It has like Putin riding like a T-Rex, like while they're like invading Ukraine. It's gonna be great.
Shirtless so the Twilight girls can.
It's Putin, so he's probably gonna be shirtless. That's what he does.
So I guess that's our thought amazing Jurassic World trailer, and the one that just hit half an hour ago or something, from this recording. It's the new Star Wars trailer, a teaser trailer for Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, and goes back to bed because it's fucking Sunday. I mean, what are you doing up at 7 o'clock in the morning? That's stupid. And, it looks good. It looks like a J.J. Abrams movie, although, like Bragg already mentioned, on Twitter a few moments ago, with a surprisingly lack of lens flare. And I only counted one when, the Millennium Falcon is shooting up,
what's that? It's a J.J. Abrams movie without like 50 lens flares in every shot.
Maybe he's improved his style. I don't know. But yeah, it looks good. It looks already much better in terms of CG composition, everything, direction than the prequels, because obviously George Lucas isn't doing it.
Amazingly, in the forest scene, real trees, actual trees. George Lucas.
Yes.
Can you imagine that?
He can't, but apparently J.J. Abrams can, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, and also that lightsaber looks really cool. Yeah. But it's also really fucking dumb, actually. It's kind of useless. It looks really cool, but those side things,
it depends. I mean, the lightsabers, as has been established in the previous movies, don't, go through each other, so you might actually be able to block an incoming strike with those side repel thingies that come up from this medieval style lightsaber in the trailer. So if they actually put that in the movie, that would be cool, but I don't know if they actually thought of that or because they just chose to design because it looks interesting.
I think that's the last part, but maybe they use it rightly.
I think it looks like, to me, it looks like a primitive lightsaber. It looks like someone who's making a lightsaber who isn't quite up to like the arts of making a lightsaber. Someone who's kind of like replicating a lightsaber rather than having the actual know-how. So I think it looks like it's kind of got like heat outlets on the side, like rather than just continuing, I think, all the time while the lightsaber is on. I think that might be some like heat kind of outlet or something, because he can't quite make the lightsaber properly, or maybe he doesn't have the know-how. It's like a rudimentary lightsaber.
Yeah, well, it makes it look like an actual sword, like I said, like a medieval style sword. And we have seen customized lightsaber in previous movies and games, and the new series Star Wars Rebels has a dude who has like
maybe he's like a fucking Sith hipster. My lightsaber's cool.
Hey, you've seen who they cast. Like, at least I think it's that one guy from Girls. He looks like a hipster, so it might be Adam Driver, I think it is. He looks a bit like a hipster, so it could be like a Sith hipster. So he was a Sith before it was cool.
They want, exactly. They want to like freshen things up. Okay, do you know Sith Lords, apart from the Emperor in like Revenge of the Sith and stuff, because he's having a good time. The Sith Lords basically don't know anything about fun. Like they're evil, but they don't seem to be having any fun being evil. But imagine like a Sith Lord, with a beanie hat on and it's like listening to hip hop, riding his speeder arm hanging out the side, boom, 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 in his speed or whatever, like hip hop playing, like putting it up to chicks, going, "Hey girls, run a ride on the Sith stick," like. It's like, hey, look at this dope-ass lightsaber I got, bitch. That'd be amazing.
And it comes out of his pants.
Yeah.
That's a customized lightsaber.
He's like party trick. He's sticking his lightsaber down his pants and then switching it on so it burns through his pants. But sometimes it goes wrong when he's drunk and actually sets fire to his pants.
Yeah. I'm on fire, baby. But there's this in the new Star Wars Rebels cartoon, which I like a lot. There is this.
Oh my god!
No. There's this Inquisitor guy who has like this weird ring thingy that has two lightsabers coming out of it, comparable to the Darth Maul.
Lightsabers coming out of his ring? Fucking hell! What the hell are you watching?
Yeah, and he can move it around and stuff like.
If you were in like the Star Wars universe, why would you make like a suit that's all made out of lightsabers so you can get it?
Because you would cut yourself into pieces.
No, do you know the Madonna tits, like lightsabers that come out of like Madonna titties?
I don't know if you heard. There's like this like Russian bear suit or something, where there's like a suit with spikes on like every side on the outside, like that, only with lightsabers.
Hey, maybe we'll see something like that in the new movie. I'm kind of surprised though that they in the teaser trailer they didn't put all the stuff that old school Star Wars fans want to see, like a shot of old Han Solo, a shot of old Luke Skywalker. They put the X-Wings in there in the Millennium Falcon, but it was actually surprising to see a quick mugshot of all the characters and with
you only see like the face of one character.
Yeah.
And I really hope he's like the main character, John Boyega. I really hope he's like the main character. I have no idea if he actually is, and I have no idea. He is wearing like a stormtrooper outfit, so maybe he is an ex-stormtrooper or something. So yeah. I have no idea.
The pretty hilarious the way that trailer started though is like dun, 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 like black guy in a stormtrooper outfit. Wow! Oh my god! It's just like I was literally watching, thinking with that big like bah of music. It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is that about? Some random black guy in a stormtrooper's outfit. I have no idea who that actor is or what it signifies. It's just hilarious to have that like sudden pang of music. That's the way they introduce Star Wars. A fucking stormtrooper with his hat off. Jesus.
Spoiler, turns out it's Django Unchained.
No.
Sequel in the future. Yeah. But it looks cool. It looks decent. It's
Wait
doesn't
a minute.
look, there's no weird stuff in there.
I thought all those fucking stormtroopers were talking about Django.
Clones.
Yeah, we're clones. That guy's not obviously.
Apparently they are not. I don't know what happened, but
maybe they died out. The clones died out, and they really need to hire some new guys.
Maybe they had a limited lifespan or something like that.
Maybe
but I think the stormtroopers are actually people recruited by the Empire. So
maybe just X-Men style. They finally decided that George Lucas is full of shit, and they're just going to retcon his ideas.
Yeah, they retconned like episode 1, 2, and 3. Yeah,
would be a good idea.
Good idea. Yeah.
Definitely. That's some sound advice.
And with that, we've come to the end of the shallows, so we're going to move on to the depths. Welcome back to the depths. So today on the depths, we're going to be talking about comic book movies, specifically regarding Marvel and DC's recent announcement of their incoming lineups. So, with that in mind, which Marvel and DC movies are you really looking forward to most in the coming years? Yeah, and why are you looking forward to them? So, how about you, Brack?
Yeah, which one I'm looking forward to the most? I think DC movies really don't. They really look like most of them could fail, and I think with Marvel movies you're pretty sure that you're getting a quality product. So I'm actually looking forward the most to. I think I'm looking forward the most to like Avengers: Infinity War, because it's a two-parter and it finally has Thanos in it being a badass. Well, right now he's just sitting in his chair being evil. I don't even know if he can stand up. Maybe he's like stuck in that chair. I have no idea. He never leaves that chair, like never. In the entire, in like both Guardians of the Galaxy or the first Avengers movie, he's still in that chair. Oh. So I have no idea how he does it. But
I got stuck in a garden chair once. I literally had to break the chair to get out of it. Maybe it's like
that's the thing. That's the reason why Thanos is so mad. He's been stuck in that chair for ages.
He's the Mad Titan because he has a titanic jump right in his intestines and he can't
Do you
get
think that chair is also a toilet at the same time?
Yeah, maybe. That would be smart.
Someone made that.
I think Avengers Infinity War starts with him in that chair, like hovering above Earth and taking a giant shit, like right on top of like Tony Stark's building. I think that's how Infinity War is going to start.
Well, surprise, so I'm all for that. Choo-choo, how about you?
Me personally, I guess, well, I'm really looking forward to pretty much all the movies. I think I tend to gravitate more towards the Marvel universe simply because I feel DC tends to get very gritty and dark and realistic, and I don't know. That doesn't
and
really...
DC doesn't really know what their characters are about. They're just making everybody into Batman.
I have to say, I hate Man of Steel. I think it's awful. I think they betrayed what is the Superman character. I mean, what does the Superman character stand for? I mean, by default, it's purity, right?
I thought, Man of Steel Superman was about having a Dragon Ball Z fight and then snapping somebody's neck. That's what what Man of Steel Superman was all about.
Yeah, it was awful. I mean, first of all, Superman breaking anybody's neck, that's just not right. That's just not Superman.
He would find another way. Could have just flown with him away or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Anything but fucking killing the guy. I mean, fucking hell, Batman wouldn't even broken his neck. I mean, that's Batman's one rule, but apparently, Superman is more willing to murder than Batman, which seems highly unlikely. And also, just from a cinematic standpoint, Man of Steel was boring. I mean, you have 40 minutes of really fucking bland CG fighting. Like a CG dude throwing another fucking CG dude through a whole bunch of concrete buildings. It's like Michael Bay directed that fucking movie. I mean, Superman's not an idiot. He knows for a fact that throwing another super dude through a fucking concrete building ain't gonna do shit. So what's he doing? He's just endangering the innocent civilians who fucking live in those concrete buildings. What an asshole.
Well, he learned his moral and stuff from his father, and his father in this movie is a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
So why are we surprised?
His father, really, Jonathan Kent in Man of Steel is just such a prick. He's just like, oh yeah, let those other kids die. Yeah. Let those other kids die. Just to stay hidden. You know what? I'm just gonna kill myself and make you feel the guilt of that for the rest of your life. Yeah. Fuck you. That's what he does in that movie.
For no fucking reason. It's so stupid.
Yeah. It's a logical character development for Clark Kent in this movie, just because it's so wrong in its very core.
Suicide by tornado, by the way, which is kind of stupid in general.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like I think DC needs to win my appreciation, whereas Marvel has my appreciation for the stuff that they've been doing recently. But I guess of the heroes, I don't know a lot about the heroes because, quite frankly, I don't know much about comic books. I mean, I have a couple of graphic novels knocking about, and someone was, I think, in school. The Amazing Spider-Man was really popular with my friends, so I ended up reading quite a lot of The Amazing Spider-Man. So I know a bit about Spider-Man, and I think one of my uncles gave me this huge box that had 100+ Batman comics in it. So I know a bit about Batman, mostly Batman and the Outsiders for some strange reason. But anyway. Yeah, so I don't know a lot about comic books. Comic books is just one of those things I've never really gotten into, but I do appreciate comic book movies because comic book movies kick ass. I guess I'm most looking forward to Aquaman. Yeah, simply because Aquaman is in the sea and I like the sea. Yeah.
Okay.
That's about it.
It is valid as choice as anything.
Hey, baby, I'm a radiophonic sea creature. What can you say? I got an affinity with the water.
Fair enough. As for myself, for Marvel, I guess all of the, lower tier, pretty unknown characters or heroes that, haven't gotten any screen time yet and that we haven't seen on the screen before, like Ant-Man, Captain Marvel, which would be the first main female superhero, Black Panther, Inhumans, like all those characters that I haven't read the comics of, but I want to see what they do with it on the big screen. Because I don't know them, they're automatically more interesting to me because about them.
I don't know nothing about the Inhumans. I have no idea who is even in the team.
I know the characters and I've seen them before, but I haven't read their main series or whatever. So I want to see how they introduce them into the cinematic universe and stuff. So yeah, those are interesting to me. Same for DC. I want to see the lower class heroes in quotes like Aquaman, Shazam.
Oh my god, the lower class. Apparently there's a class hierarchy even within superheroes. Like Batman and Superman are sitting up there in first class. And fucking Aquaman's down in coach, he's shoveling coal into the fucking engine.
Yes, he is. You've got Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman at like the top 3, and below that, and very down below is like Robin somewhere.
Don't you even sugarcoat it. That's how it is, and that's how DC handles it.
Yes.
Aquaman would be fucked in Snowpiercer.
So, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
He would be fucked in pretty much everything that is not connected to the water, but whatever. He's still a cool character. And obviously, his solo movie is going to be set in Atlantis, so that's an interesting setting. I want to see what they do with it and stuff. So yeah. And Suicide Squad movie, if they set it up right, that's just going to be a lot of fun.
I can tell you immediately, Atlantis, right, is going to look exactly like fucking Asgard underwater.
Yeah, that's what I have the feeling as well. That Aquaman is going to be like the Thor of their universe.
Yeah, maybe.
That would be the smart move anyway.
Yeah, but definitely, like I said, the smaller movies, smaller characters for the Marvel movies and DC movies could have the same surprise success as with Guardians, you know.
I'm really looking forward to Suicide Squad. That's actually one I'm really looking forward to. I think David Ayer is a good director. And you could have you don't even have superheroes in it. You have a lot of B and C villains.
Yeah.
They should get Robin Williams to star in it.
Oh, what?
Why?
Because it's the Suicide Squad. Come on, Brack.
Damn it. Too soon, I guess.
Oh, God. I just got it. That's horrible. That's horrible.
That's the guy who made the joke about his cousin 2 seconds later.
When they make a Suicide Squad and Amanda Waller is in it, don't make her like a skinny supermodel an
exactly.
Arrow.
Yeah, that would be a dumb idea. So.
And put Captain Boomerang in there. Captain Boomerang is part of the Suicide Squad.
He should be in there.
I don't know anything about comics, but I'm telling you, Captain Boomerang just sounds
that's amazing,
like the fucking stupidest thing ever. He's a captain and he has a boomerang. His name is Captain Boomerang.
About it.
Also, they need to give him the thickest Aussie ass accent possible.
Yes.
Really cliche.
He should
Boy, we're all mate.
Let's be honest, Mel Gibson is pretty cheap right now. Nobody wants Mel Gibson in a movie. So let's just hire Mel Gibson to be like Captain Boomerang.
And they can kill him off in the first 10 minutes or something.
That's amazing. I would watch that.
Nail him onto his cross or something.
Actually, it opens with him having exploding boomerang and throwing it away, and it just returns and it explodes himself. That's the opening of the Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah, he's trying to hit a Jew with a boomerang, and then the boomerang comes back and kills him. It's like, you should have seen that coming. Literally.
And it's actually a boomerang from Mad Max 2. That it cuts off his own head. It's
God, Struth, it's coming back.
Yeah. But yeah, that is my varied stance on it. And Captain America 3 could be interesting if you know it's gonna be the Civil War storyline. So
the Civil War storyline is pretty rubbish, though. I've read that.
Yeah, but
it's pretty horrible. It's a good concept for a movie, but the story, the comic books were pretty bad.
Yeah, depending on how close they keep to the storyline and the way it develops, that movie could have a very interesting ending. So I want to see if that actually happens, but I'm not giving anything away, so we'll see. But yeah, I guess that's my list and my stance to the whole thing.
All right, so we're going to move on to the next question, which is going to be, who do you think has been or will be more successful with their approach to the idea of the cinematic universe? So, for example, Marvel introducing new characters in their own movies and then bringing them together in the Avengers, or DC Comics doing the opposite by throwing most of their characters in the new Batman vs. Superman film and then giving them their own films after that.
I think I go first. I think the Marvel one was way better, to be honest. They really just made every character they just made a bunch of good movies and then they just made the universe go tied together. But with DC, I get why they do it, because everybody in the world is going to see Batman versus Superman. Even when the movie is totally rubbish, you're going to see it. It has Batman fighting Superman. Yeah. When are you not going to watch that?
Everybody's going to watch that fucking movie.
And when you just put out an Aquaman or a Wonder Woman, there could be a chance that nobody would watch it. Most people don't really like Aquaman. Aquaman has a lot of baggage because of people making fun of him.
I like Aquaman.
Family Guy or Robot Chicken, or every other animated cartoon show out there, they all made fun about Aquaman. So they really want to make like Aquaman really badass in like the next movie.
Actually, that I would say they should do that with most of the characters, because establishing single characters in a big movie like they're doing seems smarter in terms of getting the word out and getting the crowd hyped for a spin-off movie, just introducing the characters to them. But on the other hand, putting too many characters into one movie without giving them sufficient development or screen time could backfire and make people less interested in those heroes. So they have to handle it right. Like, they make people want to watch these spin-off movies, and thus they have to make this few scenes that the characters appear in the Superman versus Batman Superman movie, have to make the characters look cool and, make people get them interested in those characters. So I don't know if they actually will be able to pull that off.
Yeah, and why is Martian Manhunter not there? He's like part of the Justice League. Why is Cyborg? Why is Cyborg there? He's never been in like the Justice League, or like.
Well, he has been.
They really forced him in the Justice League in like the animated movies recently.
He's a big part, a core member.
I like the character
in the New 52. So I guess they were, going from that story perspective.
I don't really like the New 52. I
haven't almost read anything.
They don't use that as a mark for like the new movies. Also, I'm actually kind of excited for the new Batman vs Superman, because this time they have a good director on set. It's only a shame that he's just busy wearing a batsuit and not behind the camera.
Yeah, that's he's sad Batman.
He's really sad Batman.
Chuchu, you want to say something?
I was just going to say, I think Aquaman will crop up in the movie by, a Bruce Wayne or something will be dangling sardines off the promenade, and Aquaman will just burst up like a dolphin and just like snatch it with his teeth. Like, also, Aquaman gets a bad rap, but dude, he can breathe underwater, and he's got mad ass flippers.
Right now, I'm picturing the scene from like the Jurassic Park trailer we talked about, with like the shark like above the water, but instead of like a dinosaur, it's like Aquaman jumping out of the water, taking a bite of the shark.
Exactly. Yes. Imagine that. You went to SeaWorld to see the dolphin show. Bang, you got Aquaman jumping through hoops and like balancing balls on his nose. That'd be amazing. Basically, I've got it. The Aquaman movie. It's Free Willy, but with Aquaman as Willy.
Actually, I think Aquaman movie is gonna be more like what's the James Franco movie where he's like stuck between a rock with his head. Only it's with him like his head stuck in like one of those plastic bags.
Or a 6-pack can, yeah.
So it's like one of those 6-pack things, and he has like to cut off his own hand with like.
That would be amazing. Just as a general stance on the whole approach thing. What you mentioned earlier, Bragg, that DC seems to be going for a grim dark approach with their new movies like Superman.
That Human Metal.
Oh, sorry, Choo-Choo. I mixed you two up. But yeah, you're right, Choo-Choo. And Man of Steel was like, discarding a lot of things that are core to the idea of Superman, just in terms to getting it more in sync with what the Dark Knight is trying to do. And, people missing entirely the point of what kind of character Superman is, and trying him to get this realistic stance on it. And if DC is trying to do that with all of the upcoming movies, I predict this is going to be a big disaster, because for some of those franchises, this just won't work. Namely, the Flash. You can't have a Flash movie that is super grim, dark, gritty. That doesn't work, because Flash is a funny, sympathetic character who doesn't brood and shit like that. He is not emo at all and stuff. Well, so that wouldn't work. Same for, actually, depending on which Green Lantern they're going to choose, that doesn't work either. If they choose Kyle Rayner, it won't work, because he's a quipping guy too. So nope. I hope they don't do that. I can see it for Wonder Woman, depending on how they go with, if they go for this really, Amazons being these really strong warriors and really, bloodthirsty and stuff. If they make it that could work. But no, I don't see it for the Flash. I don't even see it for the Suicide Squad movie, because I want to.
I actually see it for the Suicide Squad movie. I think you can actually kind of make that dark.
You can make it dark, but you can make it you can't make it boring and dry and grim and emo. You
No,
make
but
it dark and fun. You make it bloody. You make it violent, but you don't make it emo.
But I think I watched like
Suicide Squad. I mean, it's a no-brainer. You make every single character in the Suicide Squad suicidal.
We'll
Like
see.
it's they're gonna have it. It's gonna be. Do you know Fight Club where they have that cancer group for men? The Suicide Squad is gonna be like a group for like manic depressives or something, and it's gonna be directed by David Fincher.
Oh,
they have someone called David directing it, but it's David Ayer.
oh.
So it's probably going to be like it's going to be in Los Angeles, and all the Suicide Squad people are going to be cops, and because David Ayer just writes like cop dramas in LA.
It's going to be like that. It's going to be like Heat, basically. One of the Suicide Squad, is going to be fighting crime or whatever, or whoever they're fighting is.
They're not fighting crime; they're criminals. So that's not going to be happening.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, he's going to be doing crime. How's that a hero movie? Anyway, he's going to come home. And he's going to find his daughter in the bath after slitting her wrist.
I think I forgot.
Welcome to the Suicide Squad.
We forgot that Choo-Choo has no idea about comic books. He has no idea who the Suicide Squad is.
Yeah, exactly.
So we should explain that for a bit. The Suicide Squad is
a bunch of villains who get recruited by the government. Basically, they get imprisoned, and instead of staying in a normal prison, they get recruited by the government and sent on suicide missions. Basically, missions that have a very low success rate. By success rate, I mean you surviving actually. So. Then they get, years of their sentence. They're like, hey, if that mission is successful, you will be in prison not as long as you should be, and stuff like that.
Basically, what you're saying is DC ripped off the A-Team.
I have no idea.
A-Team are actually good people. The are people like Deadshot or Harley Quinn or Captain Boomerang, like you said, Plastique, all those guys, like villains from the Batman universe, for example.
In general, villains from the Batman universe. Yeah.
Oh yeah, please! I want the next Batman movie to have a villain called Captain Boomerang, and literally he just fights Batman with a boomerang. That's it. No special powers, just a boomerang.
That's actually a villain from the Flash.
Yeah.
How the fuck can Captain Boomerang take on the Flash? The Flash is so fast, and the Boomerang is a slow weapon.
He's gonna be in the crossover next week between the Flash and Arrow shows. He's gonna be on both episodes, so I'm looking forward to that very much.
Captain Boomerang?
Yes.
Captain Boomerang.
Well, I think
it's gonna be fun.
What's next? Captain Toilet Plunger. I mean, fucking hell, could they think of a less useless weapon than a fucking boomerang? Captain Machine Gun. Captain Twin Knife. A boomerang you can't even kill anybody with a boomerang.
He has exploding boomerangs and like razor sharp boomerangs and shit. I don't know how he catches them if they're,
lightsaber boomerangs.
Lightsaber boomerangs.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be like the next. That's gonna be a crossover with DC and Star Wars with lightsaber boomerangs.
Oh man, that's amazing. And with that, it's time to wrap up this week's visit to the ocean floor. So please join us next time when Anglerfish lures us back up above crush depth. And until then, this is the Radiophonic Sea Creatures tuning out.